Okay, I now got the good tablet out, the old Microsoft Surface Pro. Got it plugged into my Ford Escape. That check engine light's about. So we got the code. See if the Samsung would work as good. P26B7, engine coolant bypass valve, C control circuit open. Intermittent at time of request. So this is real time. So it says no fault now. And what I'm planning on doing is warm up the engine and actually kicking the heater on a couple times. And if there's just a piece of debris in the valve, this code will clear itself. Dang, it does it every time this app resets. It goes to the front camera like a dick. So yeah, this Samsung Note 9 is a piece of shite, by the way. Ever since it had the Android 9 Pie update, it freaking crashes apps all the freaking time. The camera sucks, everything. So anyway, what was I saying before the app screwed up? Basically, I think it was saying that it had no faults. Actually, I have a mouse I can use. Since we're using a real thing here. You can also hit dashboard and it puts it in this big old one. So the bypass valve is off. I also put some other things. RPM. Fuel pressure, it's in kPa. But I'm not familiar with that. I wish I could change this to PSI. There probably is a way to do it. Let's see if there is somewhere in here. Is it here? No, that's not. No, that's the wrong setting. It's probably in the main settings for this thing. Oh, well, I'm just gonna go back to it. I'll have to look at that later. This is what they normally, the diagnostic tech for Ford is going to be using these pressures nowadays. But just know that about somewhere between 40 and 60 psi is what this reading is. So to give you an idea what a direct injection engine has for pressure, this thing 500 something kPa is like maybe say 6 most. I think it said it pumps at 40 to 60 from the fuel intake pump, and then it boosts it up to many thousands of psi. So that's, see, it went over 10,000 kPa. Turbo wastegate. Turbo pressure and kPa, not psi. Dang, I wanted to see what the boost pressure was when I drive this, but I could always calculate it later. Engine coolant temperature. Oh, yeah, there's got to be a way to change this. This is bogus. Hold on. Come on, man. Where do you change the setting? Oh, it's on my cars. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's still showing me Imperial. I wonder if I have to start and stop this thing. Oh, yeah. And it's still. Extended license. Oops. I'll show you guys all that. Connection. I'm not using Bluetooth. Hey guys, I just now noticed I got some people coming in. Hey, what's up, man? I'm using the Forscan diagnostic code P26B7 that showed up on the Ford Focus my wife drove it home yesterday. So I'm trying to change that thing to. I changed it to Imperial instead of metric, but I wonder if I just need to turn this off and restart it now. Let's try that and just see if because I want to read boost pressure and PSI, not kilopascals or whatever that is. Okay, it's reconnecting to my car. So DTC. Yeah, it's wanting me to switch it. I don't know why it's doing it, because I already didn't I hit OK? This shouldn't be doing this, because It's already scanned this car before, but now it's going through the stupid scanning thing. Switches. Let's see. Okay. Hill start assist not available. This thing got pissed off. And it's still not in PSI. Dude, that sucks. What the hell? See, K Pascal. I don't think it gives me. Boost pressure. I've already got that selected, so I guess that I just have to use a calculator, guys, to see what my boost pressure. So fuel pressure from the fuel pump, fuel pressure at the fuel rail, it's a couple thousand psi, over 10,000 psi going to the injectors on this because it's direct injected gasoline. So EC bypass valve off. I don't know if there's a way to, some stuff you could turn on manually. EC bypass no fault. So I need to, like, let me see if I can turn the heater on now that the engine's warmed up. Turn the AC on. Put this on. Well, and I might be mistaken in what the EC bypass valve's for. It might be to have something to do with just the way it warms up the engine. But someone said something about to the heater cord, something I was reading on the internet. Is it blowing hot? Kinda. It's getting there. That's what we really want when it's 75 degrees out, huh? So it hasn't tried to open it. Might have to take this for a drive. And this will record. We'll get to see what my boost pressure is on this without actually putting a boost gauge up because the computer knows. Oh, shucks. Oscilloscope table. It's getting warm in here. This is another way to read it. 4,500 kPa, 652. What's that? What was 13,000 kPa, Jeff? Because that's what it jumps to, and I'm not even driving. 13,000. I know this one guy in the forum said that he got that check engine light and then he drove the car a little bit and then it went away. So a lot of people are just getting that code and freaking out and going replacing that part. And I looked at what that part looks like on the internet, and it looks just like a water valve for a Hoshizaki ice maker. It literally probably just has one little piece of gum in the seat, you know. And the guy that was replacing it, he looked inside it and he said there's a piece of debris in the seat, so it didn't stop the flow all the way. He goes, I probably could just clean it out, but I already bought the part. So 1,800 pounds per square inch of fuel pressure right there. I should just get a zip around the block real quick, guys, and let it record the fuel pressure then. Got the freaking heater blasted. I guess I can just blow it low. How much gas? The wife almost okay. It's actually gas. Whenever the wife stops driving the car, it's usually on empty. This will record boost pressure, fuel pressure. I added those. You could add whatever you want it to monitor. Oops. The torque comes in. This is the 1.6 liter EcoBoost, and at the time of when I got this car, the turbo, the boost comes in the quickest out of the EcoBoost engines, at least at this time. Like the torque, its peak torque is the lowest. It's like 1,500 RPMs or right under 2,000 or something, and the little lower than when the peak torque comes in for like the 3.5 EcoBoost. Of course, the 3.5 liter EcoBoost is a monster, you know. Now they're 475 foot-pounds of torque, you know, out of a 3.5 liter. This is like 180. Oh, where'd the app go? Did I frickin' shake this thing and drop the app out of the way? That's weird. Looks like I'm gonna have to pull over and start that thing back up. Look what I did somehow. It hit the button on the keyboard or something. Doesn't that suck? Alright. I wasn't looking at it because I was actually looking at where I was driving. If I get caught holding a cell phone, by the way, I'm in trouble out here. Ford Escape. Found a profile. Would you like to load the selected? Yes. So shouldn't be. I'm just gonna hit no right now. I don't want it to scan everything. Okay. Let's try to, let me turn off the keyboard. There's an aftermarket keyboard for the Surface. All right, I'm just gonna hold the phone here, and I'm gonna not look at the phone. Whoa. Okay. It's a little more laggy than normal. What is my temperature? Right in the middle. Hopefully one of you guys could see any of that, but we can look at the recording later. Just want to see what the fuel pressure gets up to. Glanced over, saw 15,000. How about the boost pressure? That's the one that says 97 right now. I can put this on fixed. .223 kilopascals or whatever that is. Jeff, what does that equal in PSI? 223. What does it equal in PSI? That's how many PSI boost I just saw there. Of course, probably putting this in a higher gear to load it longer would be better to get a reading. Come on, get the calculator out, buddy. So, just looking over there, still see it. No fault. I don't even know if it tried to open. Could be something it just does when it's cold. I don't know. Nothing I saw on YouTube explains when that valve actually needs to run. You saw 15,200. Oh, that's fuel pressure. Yeah, but what does 223 convert to? Because that was my boost pressure. 223 kilopascals. Running about 215 there. I was almost 60 miles an hour. About 215 steady kilopascals there. Can you convert that to a PSI? No way. What is about 213 kilopascals? Seemed like it sustained that. 1,000 equals 13 PSI. Okay, so what was that? Yeah, that was 224.9. So this thing puts out over 20 PSI a boost. That's probably about right, because this is a little tiny engine. Replacing a V6. It's like a large motorcycle engine. It's 1.6 liters. The newest Escape, they dropped it down to a 1.5 liter. And knowing Ford, it probably puts out more freaking power. The engine's just meant to replace a V6. So 30 PSI. Yeah, and this turbo's a little small, so it's more for lower RPM. It actually, when the RPMs rev up, it's less. I know it drops off. So, no fault on any of that. I don't know when the valve's supposed to cycle. Maybe there might be a feature in this software to actually turn it on manually. I know you could turn on the fuel pump and the electric fans manually. I did that on the Mustang, and that came in handy. So I didn't have to even do anything to test the fuel pump. Into the hood. Yeah, once this thing's revved up over 4,000 RPMs, it's not impressive anymore. It feels just like a regular four-cylinder to me. So the turbo's so small, it's the lower RPMs that give it. See, right between 2 and 4 is when it rips and accelerates the most. Of course, putting in higher octane fuel helps the tuning, but it's down, for the 87. I forgot to turn off the traction control because as it spins, that turns it off. Takes away the power. The only bummer thing is you have to go through the menu to turn off the traction control on this thing. Let me get away from that person that was back there. Usually this thing, well, something's weird with it, but usually this thing, if I'm a dead stop and turn the traction control off, it just rips the tires. It's got a lot of lag right now. Weird. This is in reduced power mode because of that stupid check engine light. Unless you do that. Oh, I smell rubber. Brought up the boost a little bit. My power braking it. Turn off the traction control helps a little bit. But then it just roasts the tire. But if you have the traction control on, it takes the throttle away real quick and puts it back, so it's not like steady full throttle. You know, it's got, you know, drive-by-wire. No cops are around. Holding the phone too. That's a ticket nowadays in this city. I mean, past an ordinance. I usually have it in my phone cradle, but recording. Mustangs. Oh, the new Mustang. Which one's plus 30 plus the? So it looks like this just needs to be driven. As much as I just did, this thing ain't overheating. It's she can drive it. She was all worried about it. That might even be a more for a quick warm up, you know. Personally, let's take a look at this. What happened? Enable it run data stream. Make sure the because I turned the key off. Okay, so hopefully it's saved. Let's put escape test 1. Oops, wasn't that right? Well, let's turn the keyboard back on. Okay, it's saved. Because you can load them. And then you can look at like your graph right here. And someone yesterday was going, get a handheld scan. Kicks the shit out of that. KPA. Fuel line pressure. Okay. Fuel rail pressure. It's going to be one of these way up here. Is everything shown on the screen? Coolant temperature. I don't know, but anyway, the boost has to be one of these ones that's modulating a lot as I drive. Which one is that? Fueling. I'm sure you could just move the graph wherever. Oh, that was weird. Ah, dick. What's the right click do? Nothing. Well, you gotta push and hold the button. No fault, no fault. Oh, okay, so there's the faults and stuff. And it never, you can see it never changed in the whole drive I just did. So that sensor obviously needs to still test. It could be on warm up. That's what I'm thinking. Hold up, let's see. 13. Well, I know those are the fuel pressures. That's the valve, so it should be in order. So that's got to be the wastegate, and then the bottom one. Oh, it might be actually giving PSI in this reading. One of the longer ones, 20.33 PSI probably. I know about that. AT, that's funny. Don't be in trouble. Yeah, cops will ticket you. I usually never hold my phone when I'm driving. This phone cradle right here is where this thing goes, and then my work truck and everything I have on. So yeah, I think it recorded in PSI. It just in real time was showing me the default views. So 20 PSI, I'm pretty sure that's what that was, because and right there's I just did that burnout, and it probably just was it was spinning the wheels, and you know, I don't know if that was like 30 something. 20, so you can play it back, I think. But and we'll run. I don't know. Let's see. Stupid cat. Gotta be right near one of these things. But anyway, the faults and it never even tried to even exercise that valve. And I already had the engine warmed up by the time I got this log started. So I'll have to, tomorrow after work or something, when this is cold, I'll probably just have her drive it to work because I think it's fine. But I'll have to see if that valve actually does its thing when it's cold. That makes more sense to me if it's not for the heater. It's for, you know, for probably closes or whatever, or switches or whatever it does to get the engine to warm up as fast as possible. Probably what that is. Listen to that stupid cat. Demon. Kitty, kitty, kitty. There's the name. She changed, that person who used to own that cat called it Demon, but the wife changed his name to Damon, but I still call it Demon. Demon! Kitty, 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 kitty. Come here, stupid. Wow. That cat, dude, when I wake up in the morning, clock, that cat's already at our screen meowing. Who knows how much the neighbors have to listen to that. Listen to him. That's crazy, huh? I'm gonna unplug this OBD2 port. The cooled as well. Yeah, it is liquid cooled on this one, so probably just a lazy sensor. Yeah, and all it takes is one piece of debris in the seat, so might be able to exercise it a few times. If not, I figured I'll take it apart, and like you do a Hoshizaki ice machine water valve, you can take them apart and you'll find like calcium, a chunky piece of calcium in the freaking rubber seat, and you just wash it out in the sink and put it back together, and it's fine. Where's Jeff? Jeff, he was asking if it was a trouble, same as there's a purge valve. What are you talking about, like evaporative or something for emissions? No, the check engine light came on, and the code was oh, it's pissed. The code is come on, Samsung, P26B7 engine coolant bypass valve. And I guess before I stopped this, that's actually where it is. I looked on the internet, so I might be able to find it, guys. This one is dude, you can hear the cable like making funny noises on the spool in this one door. I'm waiting, and that's usually the sound it makes like before they break on the Dodge, but it hasn't broke yet. Vehicle. You guys know I went through a bunch of those on the Dodge. There it is, right there. That's it. That's the part right there. I'm gonna have to pull the cover off to see it. But it's that deal right there. It plugs into the back of the block. There's a couple 8mm bolts. Has a little wire there, and it's just a bypass, a coolant bypass. So, and they said it was right above the starter, and it is. So, yeah. I don't think it's anything that's going to cause the engine to overheat or anything. That's still good. That's the only part I've changed on this so far myself, is this. It cracked. And it's right at the perfect coolant level. Little tiny engine. It's got good bottom end torque. Wiggle the connector. It was on there. Now, if you punch in that code, and you'll see tons of posts and YouTube videos for the Ford Escape having that valve go bad. It probably just gets debris in it. This video is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Yeah, so anyway, Yeah, I'll check that out over the next couple days, guys, and see what's up. If that code doesn't clear itself, and it returns or whatever, then I'll take that valve off. We'll do a video in a few days. So get the hammer. I just saw that your door is open. Yeah, I hate that. You could turn that stuff off with that software is showing you. You could if you know what settings you're changing, because it's all hexadecimal code. You have to know what you're changing by finding it on the internet. But you can actually turn off those chimes and stuff. I don't really want to turn off because I want to know I left the keys in there. But this car, you can't really lock the keys in because I can always get in with that. So I can even lock my keys in with the engine running and then get in with the key entry. I like that. So, all right, guys, this is